What's going on, traders? In this video, we're going to do a complete step-by-step walkthrough of what might be the only indicator you'll ever need on cTrader, the Complete ICT SMC Suite by PrimeQuant. It bundles together average daily range, higher time frame levels, an anchored Fibonacci tool, the Elder Impulse system, and so much more, all into one powerful overlay. I'm going to show you how to install it, what every single setting does, and then we'll walk through 3 practical trading strategies that you can start looking for today. Let's dive in. All right, the first thing we'll do is add the indicator to our chart. Just find it in your custom indicators list and add it. Now, when it first loads, you'll see a lot of information pop up and this massive list of settings. Don't worry, this is actually the best part. Total customization. And the very first thing we're going to do is the single most important step for learning this tool. We're going to turn everything off. We're going to create a blank canvas. This way, we can build our perfect chart view one piece at a time, and you'll understand exactly what each feature brings to the table. Let's start with the backbone of my intraday trading, the average daily range, or ADR. Let's turn it on. Instantly, you get these lines projecting the likely boundaries for the day. These are calculated based on the average range of the last 5 days, which you can change right here in the ADR length setting. This is fantastic for setting realistic profit targets. Next, let's enable the Show 50% ADR. This middle line is the equilibrium for the daily range and is an absolute magnet for price. Now, see this toggle, Use Daily Open Calc? If you turn this on, the levels project half the ADR up and down from the daily open price. If you leave it off, they adapt dynamically, projecting from the midpoint of the day's current high and low. I personally leave it off to stay dynamic. Exactly the same logic applies to the weekly and monthly ranges. I'll quickly turn on the AWR and the AMR. I like to set these to a lighter, dotted line style. I don't use these for exact entries, but they are crucial for context. If price is already pushing the average weekly range high on a Wednesday, I know I need to be very careful about chasing breakouts. If you like to see the numbers, you can enable the ADR table. You can position it in any corner of the chart, choose whether to display the range in pips or currency, and set the colors to match your theme. It's a great little dashboard for at-a-glance volatility info. Next, let's map the market skeleton with the ICT Swing Structure. This feature automatically marks short-term, intermediate-term, and long-term swing points on your chart. The small markers show you the most immediate highs and lows, while the larger triangles mark the more significant structural points that define the trend. This instantly cleans up your chart and shows you where breaks of structure and shifts in momentum are happening without you having to draw a single line. Next up, let's get some higher time frame context. In the OHLC levels group, we can plot the open, high, low, and close from a higher time frame directly onto our chart. It's set to weekly by default, which is perfect. You can display them as lines, but my favorite is the boxes style. This shows you the previous week's candle body and wicks as zones of support and resistance. And the best part? Just check the extend box, and these critical levels are projected forward through the current week, giving you a clear roadmap. This next one is a powerful filter to keep you out of bad trades. The Elder Impulse system colors our bars based on a combination of trend and momentum, and you can now customize these colors. Green bars appear when both the trend and momentum are rising. This is a green light to look for long setups. Red bars appear when both trend and momentum are falling. This is your signal that the bears are in full control. And most importantly, blue bars mean there's disagreement. The market is in a neutral state. For me, blue means be patient and wait for clarity. It's fantastic for avoiding choppy price action. For another layer of context, you can enable the digital root time bands. These vertical bars highlight specific, predefined time slots throughout the trading day. Think of them not as exact entry signals, but as rhythm markers. You'll often see volatility pick up or price react around these specific times, giving you a time-based map to go along with your price-based levels. Now let's add some calculated price levels with a Gann SR module. When you turn this on, it draws a symmetric ladder of potential support and resistance lines around the current price. The spacing of these lines is dynamic. It's calculated using the average true range, so it adapts to the market's current volatility. This is great for finding hidden confluence and potential targets that others might not be watching. Okay, this is my favorite feature. Let's turn on the Fibs. By default, it uses a zigzag to automatically identify the most recent, significant swing on your chart and anchors the Fibonacci levels to it. Now watch this. As I scroll and zoom, the levels are completely stable. They do not move or repaint. This is a game changer for consistency. The only time it will redraw is if you have anchor Fibs until breakout enabled. When price makes a strong, decisive break beyond the anchored range, it will then automatically reset to the new relevant swing. It's brilliant, and the customization is incredible. You can go into the settings and define any Fib level you want, change its color, and build the perfect tool for your specific strategy. All right, let's put this into practice. Here's a classic intraday setup, a mean reversion trade. For this, I only need two things on my chart, the ADR lines and the elder impulse colors. Okay, I'm looking for a spot where price has stretched to an extreme. Here's a good example right here. Price rallied up and tested the ADR high boundary. This tells me the market is likely getting exhausted for the day. But I don't enter just because it touched the line. I wait for confirmation. See how the elder bars turned blue, showing indecision, and then we got our first solid red bar? That's my trigger. I could look to enter a short here with my stop loss just above the high. And my first high probability target, the ADR 50% line, a simple, clean, and effective setup. Let's look at another common setup, this time using our higher time frame levels. For this, I need my weekly OHLC boxes extended and the elder colors. What we're looking for is a classic break and retest. Okay, right here is perfect. You can see that price broke decisively below the previous week's low. That's the break. Professional traders rarely chase that. They wait for the retest. And here it is. Price pulls back up to test the bottom of that box, which should now act as resistance. What's our confirmation? The elder bars turned from green/blue back to red right at that level. That's a high-quality entry signal to join the new momentum with a clear place to hide our stop loss. For our final example, let's trade a classic pullback. I have my anchored Fibs and my elder colors on. The indicator has automatically identified this last strong impulse move up. Now we're seeing a natural pullback. We don't want to panic. We want to see this as an opportunity to buy at a discount. The key area I watch is the 50% retracement level. As price pulls back into this zone, I'm watching the elder bars. They were red-blue during pullback, but right here, we get our first strong green bar. That's the signal that the big picture uptrend is likely resuming. This is our entry trigger to ride the next wave up, using the Fibonacci extension levels as our profit targets. And finally, once you have your chart set up, you don't have to stare at it all day. The indicator has a full alerts engine built in. You can enable it and have it send you a pop-up, a banner, or a sound alert for all the key events we just discussed, like a touch of the ADR, a break of a weekly level, or an elder impulse color flip. This lets you do your analysis, set your alerts, and walk away, knowing the indicator is monitoring the market for you. So there you have it. That's a complete tour of the Complete ICT SMC Suite. From raw levels to actionable trade setups, I highly recommend you save your favorite combinations as a template so you can load them with one click. If you got value from this breakdown, a like on the video would be amazing. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Trade with a plan, and I'll see you in the next one.